People always overcomplicate formatting currency in After Effects. You may have seen videos using complicated code that looks like gibberish, or special plugins. But did you know that it's already built into After Effects? In this video, I'll teach you one line of code to format currencies for any country. Let's jump in. First, make sure your project is using the JavaScript expression engine. If it's set to legacy extend script, throw away the whole computer. Just kidding, but yeah, change it to JavaScript. Type in some text and add a slider control to the text layer. Open up source text and pick whip the slider control. As you move your slider, you have your number. In order for this to work, we have to write .value at the end of the slider. Now we can use JavaScript number methods. At the front, write const num equals and add a semicolon at the end. We can output this by writing num on a new line. Here's the secret one line of code you need. Write num.toLocaleString and click out. And just like that, we have an auto-formatted number with commas and decimals. The toLocaleString method has two parameters. We can add a locale and styling options. Inside the parentheses, write en-us, and nothing changes. But if we change this to a different country code, like DE-DE for Germany, it will flip the decimal and commas. It's now using European formatting. If we write DE-CH, it formats it in the German Swiss style. RU for Russian, and it removes the comma. Different languages and regions format numbers differently, and they're all contained within this JavaScript method. I'll change this back to en-us. The second parameter contains options, and we can tell it to display as a currency. Inside curly brackets, write style::currency. Now we need to specify the currency code. Add a comma and write currency::USD. And like magic, we have a number formatted as a currency. We can change this to GBP for pounds, JPY for yen, and EUR for euros. For correct formatting, make sure your locale and currency code match. Here I'm using the United States locale, but the currency is set to euros. If I update this locale to DE-DE for Germany, the formatting changes. When we use RUB for Russian rubles, it says 156,000 RUB. But if we update the locale, it will display the ruble symbol. There's another option called currency display. By default, currency display is set to symbol, but we can also write currency display code to overwrite it and force the currency code. Or we could write name and it will add words after our number. For example, Russian rubles, Japanese yen, British pounds, and US dollars. And of course, because our number is on a slider control, we can animate that slider control to our heart's content and our numbers will always update correctly. It's that easy to format currencies. To make this easier to read, let's create variables to store our locale and styling options. I'll write const locale equals and const options equals, and then copy paste our text from down below and write locale and options inside the parentheses. Now we can update the locale and options from these lines instead. You may run into an issue if you need numbers over 1 million. Slider controls simply can't go that high, but this is easy to fix. Instead of a slider control, use a point control and add bracket 0 to the end of value. Now you can control the number from the first point on the point control, and it can go over 1 million. toLocaleString is extremely powerful and built into the JavaScript engine inside After Effects. You just need to look up the correct locale and currency codes to put inside it. These codes are globally standardized, and I added links to the description so you can create any combination. I hope this helps you format currencies in After Effects and makes things easier. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.